Hello, in this video I want to show how to import a 3D model from Blender or whatever and import it in your website. That it can be your portfolio website or something else, I don't know. But I want to show here with Three.js library how to import it and display it in your browser. For this example, I have my portfolio website that is made with Three.js in a Node.js environment and also with Webpack. And as you can see, it's an interactive 3D website. It's like a game, since I have a passion for game and game development. And also I have a passion for space and stars and astronomy. So this is my portfolio website, as you can see. It's interactive. There are a lot of 3D models, and you can also see that they have solid mass, so I cannot go through them. It is blocked, okay? And there are some physics, for example here, okay? I can destroy the bricks, I can play with them, they move, they have some physics. I can click through these links, okay? So this is pretty much. If you liked, you can follow and see how I import these models, how I add the physics like solid mass, movement, or other physics. For this video, I want to add another model here. For example, I have a lot of space and I want to put something else to make it look nicer. And I thought about a cool model that I will show you now. And it is about the GitHub contributions Skyline. You can go to Google. Everyone can create one, and in seconds, really. So search for GitHub Skyline. Okay, go to this website by GitHub. Here you put your GitHub username. Mine is the rings of Saturn. Choose the year here for your contributions and commits. Create Skyline. Okay. And as you can see, in seconds, you create this cool skyline. You can share it or what you want. And it looks pretty nice. That's cool. So I want this model here on my website. And I think it will look very good. So what I can do is, first of all, download it. I'm going to load it here. Okay. This for now. Let's go to the downloaded file. Okay, as you can see, this is, I think it's a STL format. I'm not sure, but I think it's an STL format. So to display it in the browser, I need it to be a GLTF format. Okay, because that is the format to display it on a WebGL. So what I can do is just convert it with a 3D software. I have Blender. Blender is free and is one of the best softwares for 3D. So I'm a Blender fan. So okay, I open Blender. If if you don't have it downloaded. It's free, as I said. Just a moment. Okay, in Blender, just choose general. Let's delete this poor cube that everybody deletes it. Okay. I want to open the downloaded file. So import STL, because that is an STL file. Okay, this one. Import. Okay. As you can see, here is my model. It's a simple material. And what we want is to convert it in GLTF format. So here, file, and then go to export. Export, we want this one here. GLTF. GLTF or GLB. Okay, choose this one. Export. And it should be here. Okay, this one, untitled. Let me delete this one so I don't get confused. Let's call it Skyline. Okay, Skyline. So I don't need Blender for now. We can do amazing things here with this model, with Blender, but this is not the purpose of this video. I want to make it simple. So I will just add it like this and maybe apply some material or texture. So yeah, we will apply some material to it, but it looks like pretty nice as it is. Don't save, I don't need it for now. Okay. So in my code, okay, I want to go to models. Okay, here. As you can see, I have the other models here, the code for the other models. It's everything you can see here in the scene. We want to add our skyline. I will add it here. This is the duck. This is the duck here, the rubber duck debugging that every programmer needs one. Okay, this is here. Oh, I opened Spotify. Okay, so here, after the duck, what we need to write, to code here, to make it possible so our model displays in our browser. The first thing is we need a GLTF loader. This makes possible to display our model. You can go and it's in the repository of Three.js. You can check there for more information. GLTF. Okay, Three.js. Okay, so that's it. It's a GL transmission format and it's an open format for efficient delivery and loading of 3D content in the browser. Assets may be provided either in JSON or binary or data, that is binary data. So we will choose one that we will see to display it. So I have this GLTF loader, from new GLTF loader. It's from the Three.js library. So normally we import Three.js library here at the beginning. So import asterisk s3 from three, okay, and then import GLTF loader from three examples: JSM, loaders, GLTF, GLTFL, loader.js. Okay, so it's from the three library folder that we have here. If you go here, three, and then examples, and then JSM, etc., loaders, and we can find it there. No need to do it now manually. You have it here, the code. So let's go back where I want to put my model. Okay, here, after the duck. So since I have this GLTF loader equal new GLTF loader, what I will do, what I will write here. We do GLTF loader. Let me disable this one because it makes me okay. Because it's the compiler that it confuses me sometimes with the code. Okay, that load, and here I will put. Oh, I need first to put my file in my folder, but I think I have already. Yeah, before I already downloaded and put it here. So I think I have it in my static folder. Okay, static models. Okay, yeah, dark astronaut, duck, etc. You can see here Skyline, and it's here, as you can see. There are three different formats, as we read before in Three.js documentation. Okay, so there is the data binary, there is the GLB, and this one like in a JSON format that we can read it. The other ones we cannot read it here. Okay. So what we are gonna use this one in a JSON format. Okay. I'm not going to talk about the other two here, maybe in another video. Okay, so we will use this format here. So the path for that is let's go here. Okay, the path was static. We have a static folder here. So static, and it was models. Okay, models, then Skyline. I hope I don't make any error typos here. Okay, Skyline, then Skyline. Okay, Skyline dash GLTF. Okay, Skyline dash GLTF dot GLTF. I could rename it like simply Skyline, but okay. Okay, this is the path that we want to load, the model that we want to load. Okay, here we want as a parameter GLTF. Let's call it GLTF. Here is this one, an arrow function. Okay, we can console log here the GLTF that we have. GL Skyline model here, so we know where it is in the console log. Okay, so let's console log GLTF. Okay, we don't have any errors. Okay, compiled successfully. So let's just check first. Let's check in the console log. Okay, here these are from other modules. Skyline. Okay, here I couldn't see it. Skyline model. As you can see, it's an object. It's an object. So inside we have every kind of informations. So animations, asset, cameras, scenes, user data, etc. Where we have the model, it is here in the scene, as you can see, and there are the children that are 5. Okay, if I open it, you can see it here. Because we have some children, because the model may be composed from different meshes, or so in this case we have different objects here. You see type object 3D, and it's we have like 5 of them. Okay, so it may have like inside light, camera, or we may have a 3D model but with many meshes, different meshes that is composed. Okay, when we import it from Blender, for example, the way that we modeled it could be that it is from with different meshes. It may have animations, lights, etc. So I want to display all of them. Okay, so I can access, for example, I can access this object here with the object and then scene and then children, and I think I can display the mesh with children, index 4. Okay, let's leave it for now. So there are different ways to display this objects, these meshes that are inside these children. There are different models. Since we saw that there isn't only one, there are 4, 5, it may be 10 of them, it may be many. So you guess it, I think. The for loop may be one example to display all those objects inside the array. A for loop, yeah, it can. Here I can do, before I do the for loop, or another example to make it possible to display it. Here what we have a possibility. After you see the brackets, I can add, and I will show what I can add: the progress, arrow function, curly brackets, and here we can console log the progress. So we can check for errors, we can console log the progress while we are importing and the 3D objects, to check if we are actually importing it or we have some errors. It will check for the errors and everything. So here progress, okay, console log progress, it will display the, and here I will call progress. Okay, I can also add on progress. As you can see, I can add the error, so I can catch the error also here. Okay, so let's catch also the error. The same thing here, just error, and here call error, console log error. Okay, now it's cleaner. Let's check if we have any errors. I don't know. I don't think so. Let's check the console log. It will display like progress when we import it, or error if we have any error. For example, if I make a typo or anything, it will display the error and what kind of error it is. As you can see, success, 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 progress. As you can see, you have any kind of informations. I have other progress because also my other models have it. Okay, it's okay. We don't have any errors. We are displaying it here, and it's inside the scene. We also have the scenes as a group, but okay, I'm not going to talk about it now. Let's make it possible to display our model. Okay, so here we have consoles. Okay, let's comment it for now. What we can do here? So I talked about the for loop before. We can do a for loop for the children. So for let I equal 0, the normal for loop, e less the GLTF that we have there, dot scene dot children. As we saw, our objects and meshes were inside the children of our array. Dot length, okay, e plus plus. And then scene dot add GLTF dot scene dot children and index I. Okay, that's it. So we are cycling through the array and make possible to display all of them as an array. Okay, what we have inside. This is one method. There are many, actually. There are many. Many of you already guessed that we can also use a while. While sometimes are dangerous because you can get stuck in a infinite loop, but yeah, you can do also the while. So while while GLTF that scene that children always that length, okay, curly brackets, scene that head, GLTF that scene that children, and 0, because we want here the first to go through the first index. Okay, this is another possibility, and another one is a simple like another for loop for const child uh, const child of GLTF that scene that children, okay, and then simply scene that add, okay, and child inside. It's exactly the same thing. It will display all the matches, or depending on how our model is composed, but it will display all the children inside the array. So we have it like one. We make sure we don't miss any children. Okay, but since we said that there are many methods, there is another one that it's the simple one, even easier than this. That is simply just adding just one line of code. So without the need of making a for loop or something else. Okay, so we just create a variable const, let's call it Skyline model, Skyline model, okay, equal to GLTF that scene. That's it. That's it. We need only this line. As you can see, it's simple, efficient, and it works the same as we were doing the for loop or while or the other methods that we use. Okay, let's check if we have any errors or we can see something. Let's see, just a moment. It's taking a while, my connection. Not responding. Okay, why? Okay, my connection this moment, it's not the best. Sorry, just a second. Let me try again. Okay, better now. Okay, let's check the console log. I hope I don't have errors. This is just something else. It's not a problem. Where we have Skyline. Can you see it? Skyline. Oh, sorry, I just deleted the console log. So we don't have the console log. But let's check in our browser if we can see anything. No, we cannot see anything. Why? Let's see why. Okay, so let's give it a scale to this module so we can see something. Okay, Skyline to change the scale of the model, because we cannot see it here. It may be small, so or the position of it can be under the plane or there. So first of all, let's change the scale of the model. Skyline model dot scale to access the scale, and then dot set to set the scale. And I want to try 0.3 for, as you can see here, the x, the y, and the z. So 0.3, 0.3, and 0.3. Oh, okay. And I can also set the position here and the material, the text, everything. Okay, so we can access this Skyline model. But let me try what I'm seeing here. Okay, we cannot see it for now. Let me check. Let me check. Let me first console log here, success or not. Console log. Success, let me check. Let's see the console log. Success. Yes, because yeah, the reason is very simple, because I'm just stupid. Okay, because yeah, I just forgot. I often forget to call the scene. It's the the most important thing actually, but I forget sometimes. Okay, so let me call the scene. So we imported the model, but I want to display it. So I want to call the scene. So scene.add. I totally forgot. Scene.add, and inside the sky model. Sky model. Skyline model. Okay. I hope it's okay now. I don't have any other issues. I think it should work. It should work. here. I will need it, of course, inside. Of course, inside. Here. And let's check. I hope no errors. I hope I can see it now. Okay, finally I can see it. I didn't see it before, I didn't save it. Sometimes just make sure to save it again because it doesn't refresh. So here it is, my Skyline model. Uh, my Earth was lost inside. As you can see, it doesn't have any physics, so it hasn't a solid mass like, for example, the text or the other model here. I cannot go through it, but I can go through this Skyline because for now it has no physics, no solid mass. But finally I made it work, so I can see it. Okay, and it's nice. Now we need to position it where we want it. I wanted to position it here at the bottom, at the left. Maybe add some texture to look nicer. I think we need to put a texture to it or a color. A color maybe not because I don't see it. The Skyline with a color. The texture, yes, we can do some great things with textures. So let me look with the textures that I have if we can find something cool. I can add the textures up above here. Okay. So before positioning it, etc., because to position it, I will show something very handy, something very helpful to work in these cases with Three.js and with models, because to position this model here, to put the coordinates exactly, just in the X, here in the Y, in the Z, so it can be very slow and confusing, and to to put manually the parameters of the coordinates. So I will show another way. We will create a UI debugger. Okay, so we will display it here, an UI debugger, like a configurator as you see in Blender when or Photoshop, that you have those configurators to change the color, where you scroll the parameters, you make the tweak the parameters. Uh, we will use something like that. We will create something like that, and I will show it here. So we can choose with just dragging or tweaking the parameters. We can choose where to position it in real time. So in real time, I can get the values where I want it. Okay, it's very helpful. But first, let's give it a texture. Let's see the textures that I have here. I have some textures already. But to give it a texture, we need some piece of code. So const, let's call it Skyline texture loader. Okay, Skyline texture loader. Okay, equal new, always new, three because we are getting it from the three library, or uppercase. So three.texture loader. Texture loader. Okay. So first of all, you need a texture loader, as we did with GLTF loader. We need a loader for everything. So we have the texture loader. What else? I want the texture, so const Skyline text or matcap, because it will be a matcap. If you know what matcap are, matcap texture. Okay, matcap texture. Skyline texture loader. Okay, dot load. Okay, so Skyline matcap texture that I call my variable. I will put here the path of the textures where I have it. I always have it here in my static textures. This here. I have 8 textures. As you can see, it's a sphere. Okay, these are the matcap textures. I got them from the Chronos group, that is pretty much those who maintain Three.js, etc. Let me find it here. Threejs. I have thousands of folders. Okay, Three.js. It will be somewhere here. Three.js, Chronos group, sample models, I think. Okay, these are for the models. Yeah, these are for some 3D models. I got this helmet from here, but I think I have the for matcap here too. Okay, I'm not finding here, but yeah, you can get your matcaps or create one if you can create one and use them. Okay, I have it here. So I will choose, let's try this one that has like some metallic look. Maybe it goes well with Skyline. Okay, so the third, where I am, okay, here. So static. And static, then textures, then textures, matcaps, and then the third one, right? Three.png. Okay, it should be okay. I have my Skyline matcap texture here. I also need the material to display this matcap textures that I defined it here. So I need a material here, const Skyline material. Let's call it material. Equal new. Don't forget new. three dot. In this case, I need this one, mesh matcap material, and matcap will be our variable above. So Skyline matcap texture. Sorry. Okay, this one. And it should be fine. Here's the duck. Where is our... Okay, it's here. And here I can change the material. As I played with scale, as I will play with position, I can play with materials. Okay, so we can access it like Skyline model. That material to access the material equal what? Skyline material. Skyline material, the one that we saved here. Skyline material. Okay, that has inside Skyline map texture. Okay, let's check if we have a problem or not. Let me save and make sure. I have autosave, but sometimes, even though I have autosave, it doesn't refresh without 2 times or 3 times. Let's see if we see something. No, I don't see the material. Edit. No, I don't think so. Let's check. So Skyline model material, Skyline material. What I forgot? The loader. Okay, Skyline texture loader. Skyline matcap texture. Skyline texture loader.load. Let's check the path. Static textures, matcaps, and then three.png. Should be okay. It should be okay. I think so. So where is the problem? Skyline material. Let's check again. No, I don't see the material. Let me check again. Static models. Oh, where is the material? Okay. Static textures. Matcaps and then 3 PNG. It's okay. Yes, yes. I got it. I got it. I got it. Okay, I got it. Where is the problem, my friends? The problem is we have this Skyline model. Okay, we have this Skyline model here, and as we saw before, the Skyline model, it's an array of objects. So it can be many meshes, etc. So if I want to apply a material to it, I need to apply a material to the whole thing. Okay? So not just one. So that's I cannot see anything for now. Why? To make it work, I need another piece of code. I'll show here. So Skyline model dot traverse and it has a function node as an argument and here an if statement to make it work. If node that is mesh okay, node that material equal our material Skyline material. Okay, so pretty much we are making possible here to give the material to all the nodes that has a mesh, let's say. Okay, so I'm applying to all of them because as we said we may import we may create a model that is divided in different groups of objects and meshes. Okay, I want to try. I hope it's correct. I hope it works. Let's see. Finger crossed. Okay, great. As you can see, I'm happy. It is applied. You can see because I also have. You see that I have the shadow. Uh, it shines. It is that material. We can test it with another one. Let's check. So here we have the third one. Let's check the I don't know the four. Save. Let's refresh because it will refresh. Sorry for my connection. Yes, I can already see that it was applied. Okay, as you can see, this was the other matcap. Nice. Even this one, I like this one. Yeah, I think I may leave this one. Or maybe the other one, I don't know. But I like this one, actually. I cannot read very well my username here, the Rings of Saturn. Maybe the previous one was okay. Let's leave the previous one. Let's leave that one. Yeah, let's leave that one. So it works. We have our model. We applied a texture to it. Okay, it looks nicer. What we need now is to position it. To position it here at the bottom, the left. Okay, and it will look everything good. So I said before that to position it, I will create a UI debugger, a kind of configurator to tweak the parameters. So let's do that. Let's do the UI debugger. To do that, where we can put it. So this is the duck, and let's make a little bit of clean code. So duck Skyline. Okay, so I know where I am. So where we can put the UI debugger here. I think yeah, we can put it here. UI debugger. Okay. So for the UI debugger, we need to import the package that is called. They are different. What I use, and I like it because the most famous one is one that is called like that debug or something like that. But I found that it has uh, some issues. It is not maintained anymore as a GitHub repository, so it is not updated. It has some issues. That one, the most famous one, if you go and search on Google for UI debugger for Three.js, you will encounter that one. But I saw that has some issues. It's not updated, it's not maintained. So I found another one that it's pretty much the same as the most famous one, but it does the work and it's updated, etc. So it is called Lil GUI. Okay, I've imported it at the top. Let's check. Lil GUI, and I'm imported it like this: import asterisk s dot debug, because just as it was, or you can give it another name, doesn't matter, from LILGUI. So npm and install this here. Okay, after that we can go here, Skyline. Okay, UI debugger. Here, let's call this GUI. Okay, so let's call it debugger or something like that, or GUI, doesn't matter. Const UI GUI, yeah, let's call it like this, const UI GUI, or debugger, or doesn't matter. New, the name was .debug that I gave it, .debug, okay, .GUI. Okay, so we have our debugger. Then to access and see the parameters there, so we can play with them. Our debugger UI GUI dot add, and here inside Skyline model, okay, what we want to see displayed, the position. So that position, and here you need to specify the axis. So which axis? X, for example. Okay, so Skyline model dot position X, and then we need a scale, because maybe I can see something already. Let's check. we need the scale for the x, for example, you know, to just to scroll that. So x from this number to this number, to negative to positive. Okay, it's taking a while. Again, my connection. Okay, great. As you can see, we have our UI debugger here. You see controls, and we have the x that we defined. So, and the value here that we can put. So 5, 6, etc. Let's check. Let's check. So here is our model. You see, I change the value and it moves. So 10 to x-axis. Okay, it moves. Back 50. It moves. Okay, let's move it to left. So negative number. Minus 40. Okay, it moved to the left. Great, it works like a charm. But it's better to, you know, to I don't want to put the number manually. You know, I'm not sure which value to put. So it would be nice to you know to scroll, like to have you know, just to move it left or right, as you do in your Photoshop or your Blender 3D software. Let's do exactly that. Where we are here. Okay. So here we can add dot min for the minimum value. Let's give it I don't know, a negative number first. So because you know, from left to right, so left was negative numbers. So let's give it 80. I think 80 it's at the limit of the page, and then min and then max. That max in this case 80, positive number, because this is negative number, this is positive number, so minimum negative number, max 80 positive. And again, another method that is step for the precision of it is just, you know, to put the precision 0.01. Okay, let's check. Let's check. If it confuses you, like, you know, in the same line, we can maybe make it cleaner, the code. Let's check first and then make the code cleaner. Okay, great. Yes, I can see, you see that it moves, and now it's better. We can, with the arrows here, we can move to left, a negative value, or to right, a positive value, and it's easier. So for example, I want to put this model here. I know that this is where I want it, so I can see, display it, change it in real time. So it's of course better than put the value here hard coded in our code. It's difficult to find, you know, the right spot where it is, where what is the value of x here. So the same thing we did with x, we can do with the other axis, so y and z. But let's add something else here. You will see. Here I also can add, in the end, I can add the name to give a description. So that name, and here a string. Let's say Skyline x-axis. Okay. So now the code is cleaner. It looks better. So UI GUI dot add, and we added the model, that position, and the axis, and then the minimum value, the maximum value, the precision of it, and a description. Let's check again. I cannot see the description. Maybe because I need to save it again. As I said before, I don't know why it doesn't update sometimes. Let's check again. Okay, now I can see it. You see it? Skyline X axis, better now. So I have a description. What is this? Because we may have other, other values, I may have like rotation, material. I want to like to tweak many kind of parameters based in the UI. Imagine that you have this website. You want to change the colors, the gradient. You want to change the rotation of things. It's very difficult to do it manually on the code to find the right one, or you to make it look better. You can do it real time, tweaking the parameters here in your UI debugger and changing the gradient, the colors, like making some post processing, and do great things to make it look better. And another useful uh, reason is that you may create this UI debugger and the designer can do it himself, someone else that doesn't have access in the code. So it may be a designer. So the designer can tweak this with these parameters and make it look better without the need to touch the code. Okay, so let's add the other axis here. The same thing as we did with the X axis, let's do the same thing with the Y axis. So UI GUI dot add, or let's not, why not copy it? So Alt Shift and the arrow down, another one. Let's call it Y, let's call it Z. Okay, let's change the description. Skyline Y axis and Skyline Z axis. Okay, let's check. Let's see if it updates with the first try. Yes, great. We can have every axis now. We can move it in the X axis. You see in the Y axis, up above, down below, but let's leave it 0 here because we don't know, we don't want. Let's make it 0.1, just a little bit up above the plane. That is 0 also. Okay, and in the it's not x-axis. Let's change it. X-axis Y, Skyline X, Skyline Y, and Skyline Z. Yeah, it's Z here. Why it shows X? Okay, it's Z now. Let's move it in the Z axis. Okay, great. You see how easy it is now to put our model where we want it. So let's move it where I want it. Move it down. Okay, in the x-axis. Okay, so we can find those values exactly where, and we can put it in our code because we know it's exactly where we want it. Okay, As you can see, our model is here where we want it. We don't have the solid mass, any physics, but it looks already great. At least I like it. Okay, and the texture is nice also. You see, it has the light, the shadow. You see, because yeah, my Earth has. I already did that. Maybe we can do it in another video how to do that. It looks great. Let's find the right spot here. I think so. 57, 62. We found the right spot. What I need to do now? What I can do now? So I have model. I have the texture. Maybe I can put the text, you know, text to it here, like we have text for the other things, for example, skills, projects, etc. I can put the text here, saying like GitHub contributions or GitHub Skyline, a text like this one. We already have that, so I can just use the code of this other text. Yeah, I can do that. But let me think a moment what else I may need. Mm. But first I want to set the position, because for now is in the UI here, but as I refresh the page, it will go again to 0, 0, 0, so I will lose the values. It is not saved here because we need, of course, to set the coordinates in our code. So let's set the coordinates in our code. So we set with the position, right? We can access the position. So where? We can access the position here, before the material, after the scale. So the same thing as with the scale and material, we do Skyline material. Oh, sorry. Skyline model. That position. Okay, that set. Again, always set to set the values. And it was minus 50, 57, something like that. I think 50, 52. Okay, and the y we set 0.1, just a little bit up above the ground, and it was like 50, 51 for the z. So just 51. Yeah, I think it would be something like that. Okay, we also have the position. So now after it will refresh, it will show the model where we had it before. Let's hope. Not showing at all. Why? Why? Skyline model, that position, that set. Why? Where is the problem now? Yeah, I can see it. I don't know why it doesn't update sometimes. I don't know. I think I have an error bug, but it's just that it doesn't appear, even though I have the autosave and I'm saving it. But I need to do it sometimes, more than one time. So if it happens to you too, you know. So it looks great, right? It looks great. We have it in the position precisely where we want it. Okay, so you can see also here where there are the coordinates, but we saved it in our code, so now it will always display here. I think this is the right position. I'm not going to touch it anymore. It looks very good, I think. And this is done. This is done. So we imported our model. We converted it in GLTF, GL transmission format. From Blender, we imported it in our browser. We displayed it and we can see it. We applied the texture to it. The only thing that is missing, well, we also changed the position. The only thing that is missing is that I wanted to have physics, so a solid mass. I don't want to go through it, break on through to the other side. I don't want that. I want to stop here. I want it to be a solid mass. But for that, we need to use physics. And to use physics, actually, we need another completely different library. So, not from Three.js. There are options like Canon.js, and there is another one that is called, I forgot, Amo.js. Yes, the one that I'm using. It's called Amo.js. We will use that for the physics. For the physics to create the initial code, etc., I already did that. It needs a separate video because there is uh, there is not a lot, but yeah, there is a little bit to talk about. So I'm not going to talk about in this video, but we will create the physics for the solid mass here. I already have, you know, the other piece of code for how to install, to create Amo.js, to apply the general physics, etc. We will change and apply the solid mass in this video. Okay, let me think about just a second. Okay, so Amo.js. Where we can put it? We can put it here after. Oh yeah, yeah. Before. Let's set the description. So physics for Skyline. Okay. Let's create the function for it. So function, let's call it Skyline solid mass. Yeah, Skyline solid mass with the x, y, and z. We need it. I will explain it later. Okay. And first thing first, let's create the scale. Because what happens? Let me explain this before. What happens here? We said that we need a solid mass, but how we add this solid mass? Basically, we create another model, or let's call it another box, you know, another box with 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 scale, like, you know, a rectangle with scale. Let me explain it here. Okay, so this is our model. I want it to be a solid mass. So to make it a solid mass, we create another, let's say, model here, another mesh. Okay, another body, another solid mass here, that it will be transparent. We cannot see it, but we will put it here. Okay, and it will be the scale exactly as our model, because I wanted the same scale. Okay, so the same scale in X, in Z, and in Y, because when I go through it, I want it to stop precisely here in the Z axis, precisely here, not before and not after. So it will be like a solid object here, the same coordinates. Okay, it will be exactly here, the same scale, the same position. Okay, it will be transparent, so we cannot see it, and it will make possible to collide with that. So we will collide with this transparent object that we cannot see, and it will look like we are colliding with our model. Okay, because they will be the same, with the same coordinates, with the same position, the same uh, every every parameters will be the same. Okay, so scale, position, etc. Let's create it. So first thing first, let's create the scale, how big and it will be. I already know what is the exact scale, so because we are not going to, to 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 guess. So Skyline model scale equal, for X is 43, for Y it's 10, the Y axis, how, let's say, how high it is, and Z 12. What else? We may need the rotation, so quaternion. Let quaternion, or let's call it, let quaternion be the same thing for X. In this case 0, I don't know, Y is 0, Z 0, and also the W, because quaternion has also the W. Those of you who have a mathematical background already know. We are not going to talk about quaternions, etc. The mass is 0. The mass of 0 equals infinite mass. Okay. What else? I need to create the mesh. Before, when we imported our model, we didn't create a new one, so we just imported it it has the mesh and everything. But here we can see that we can also create a primitive 3D objects in Three.js or in any other, in Unity engine, etc. So we will create a mesh from scratch. So let's call it Skyline solid mesh. Yeah. The variables names, it's always a good idea to have it descriptive. So equal new, don't forget the new 3.mesh. Okay. And inside we need the geometry. So we create the mesh, and the mesh needs a geometry. And three dot box buffer geometry. We need this one, a box buffer geometry. Actually, with the latest updates, Three.js, there is no need to use buffers. So I think I can use box geometry, but since I have also the other models and meshes here created with buffer, that I'm not going to change it now, so I will continue to use the buffer. Just don't mind, we are not going to talk about this, but we are just creating a new mesh, a primitive shape, and the mesh needs a geometry, okay, and also a material. It depends if you also need to apply a material to it. So the first buffer geometry that accepts what in this case? The scale. So Skyline model scale dot x, and then y, okay, and then the z. And what else? The material, new 3.mesh. In this case, the material will be the Fong material. Fong material, yeah, this one. And let's give it yeah, just doesn't matter in this case, because actually we are just I have an error. Let me check. Oh, here. Quaternion. Okay. Oh, it's y, comma. Okay, I don't have any errors anymore. Come on. Okay, we added the material. What else? So this is the Skyline mesh. I want to set now the position of the invisible mesh, the transparent mesh, the invisible, because it will be invisible. Okay, So we will set the position exactly where it is our model. So let's set the position. So Skyline solid, sorry, Skyline solid mesh dot position dot set. It will accept these three values for the axis that I will change it when I will call Skyline solid mass. I will put the values that I want them to be. Okay, x, y, z, and again I want to add the shadow. So for that is cast shadow equal to true. Okay, and also cast shadow also receive shadow. Oh, I have an error here. Stupid me. It's not that position that cast shadow, but just Skyline solid mesh that cast shadow, and that receive shadow also equal to true. Okay, and this is done. What else? We will add the rigid physics. I have a function for that. As I said, I'm not going to talk about the implementation of it. I have already done that. It will take a long time to talk about everything. So I'm calling this function add rigid physics that has inside the mesh and the scale. So Skyline mesh and Skyline model scale. Skyline model scale. It should be okay. I hope I have no errors. Let's check. No, it will not work now because why? Because I need to. Yeah, I need to call this Skyline solid mass. Okay, I want to call it where I have the others. So let me find it. Solid mass to collide with. Okay, for text and models here. Okay, put it here. It was Skyline solid mass, right? Skyline solid mass. And here we can give what the same position that I have my model, and let's check exactly the same position. Where is it? Okay, okay, I need these values here. Okay, it's the same position. Our invisible box will have the same scale, the same shape, the same position. Let's find it again. Okay, here. So I'm calling that here. Let's check. I think should be okay. Let me check. Let me save several times. Let's see. We have an error. Check the console log. Cannot read properties of undefined reading X. Let's check. Let's check. Undefined of reading X. Let me think of a second. Skyline model scale. It's here. Let me debug just a second. Why I don't have an error anymore? I did nothing. It's just I saved it again. This is making me mad. I don't know why it doesn't update it. Where's the problem now? Okay, I have a problem. Cannot read properties of undefined reading X. Skyline solid mass. Defined reading X. Let me check for the others I have here. I'm missing here? Okay. Okay, I will debug a little bit. I will not talk. Okay, finally, I solved it. Okay, now it works. It has solid mass. You see? Maybe just to correct it a little bit, maybe just, yeah, just below, but it works. Yeah, I cannot go up. As you can see, I cannot go through. Yeah, and in the sides, here it's okay. I cannot go, but I need to correct the coordinates here. As you can see, I can go. It doesn't look exactly. Hmm? It doesn't look exactly. Maybe correct. I want it to stop here. Yeah, here it's better. Let me check from above. Okay, the earth is going a little bit inside. I need to correct that. Okay, let me check. But it works. It works. I just need to correct the. So here I need to change a little bit the scale of the box. Maybe. Let me try again. Oh, what happened now? Why? 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 I didn't did anything wrong. Why? Mm, why? Looks okay. Yeah, it looks okay. Why? Maybe again the problem of updating. I don't know. I don't know. Try again. Okay, it works. It works. You see? I think it's, yeah, maybe not millimetric exact, but yes, it works. Okay, it's better now. It gives the impression that it stops exactly where it needs to stop. Yeah, I think I will leave it here. Yes, yes, it's okay. It looks good. Let me check on the sides. Um, yeah, I think on the sides too. It looks good. Yeah, yeah, I think it looks okay here. Also from above, I think it's okay. What do you think? Yeah, and leave it like this. It looks great. You see, now we have our model. We position it where we want it. It also have a solid mass and physics. We make it possible with Amo.js, another library, very useful library. And that's it. I also wanted to create a text, etc., but the video, I think it's too long, so maybe another time. Yeah, that's it. I hope you like my portfolio. If you want to know something else, if you want to create something like that, I don't know, just contact me or we can talk about. I hope you learned something from this video, and thank you very much.